Hi dear souls, and welcome to a new pick card reading. This is Celeste, and through this reading we will be exploring a fear that is ready to be released from your system. Fears can be helpful, like for example, they can help us realize when we are in danger, help us realize risks that we need to consider or take into account. They can help us choose things that are beneficial for us, and they can also prevent us or help us prepare for something in the future. But they can also be detrimental, like for example, they can be like a stop, like a block that is preventing us from going further with something that we really like. They can cause delays, they can cause us to feel helpless and do not act in a beneficial direction for us. In this reading, I'm going to explore a fear that is not useful for you and that is ready to be released. We will be speaking about systems of fear, so fears that are connected in an intricate system that function together. So when one is activated, the others will also be activated. Now, in the reading, I will be speaking about a lot of connected fears. Some of you will have the whole system, but others will have just parts of the systems. Because we are different, you will also have these fears connected in different ways in your personal system. For me, this reading has spoken about shyness, about being hidden, about sitting in my own corner, and this is a fear that I have of becoming more visible, of becoming more social, so to say, because I'm an introvert and I'm a sensitive person, so I am having, of course, some trouble with that. So this fear is ready to be released from my system, connected with, of course, many other things. This is a detailed reading, so please take your time with this. Re-listen as many times as you feel the need. The better you integrate the information, the easier it will be for you to use it. The clearer it is, the more useful it will be. To get the best out of your reading and learn what's the key to clarity and how to work with the reading, you can watch the videos in the playlist Get the Best Out of Your Readings, link in the description box. To remind yourself of the main points, listen to the video section named How to Work with the Reading. If you are new to pick a card readings or you desire to remember how they work, then let me explain. This is an introduction, but if you desire to find out the key to clarity and how to make pick a card readings work for you, then I invite you to check out the video named The Key to Make Pick a Card Readings Work for You, link in the description box. This is a general reading with a personal touch because you get to choose between a number of piles, usually 4. I am reading for a group and for dominant energy. If you are close to the dominant frequency, then most things will resonate. If you are not, then some things will resonate. You will need to pick and choose what works for you and let all other things go. The majority of readings are timeless. This means you can find and use them at any point in your life experience. If readings are connected to a certain period of time, then that will be mentioned in the title. You can also come back to a timeless reading in a different moment of your life and choose another pile with which you resonate at that time. Do not expect this to be like a personal reading, although sometimes it may feel this way. Personal readings will help you personally, while general ones will help you generally. Try not to take things literally and to let the information sit with you for a while. The actual guidance will come from your divine self. Let the guidance arise from within. Remember that you have free will and no reading can actually bind you. If uncomfortable feelings or judgments come to the surface, or you get triggered somehow, remember that this is a general reading and I usually recommend that you let them go because they might not be about you. If they are intense and you still feel they are about you, then this is a great opportunity for you to work with them. By working with the uncomfortable issues, you grow and expand in consciousness. After you choose your pile, you can go into the description box and find the timestamps so that you can jump straight to your reading. You can choose one pile or more. Take into account that you may not find the appropriate reading for you from the first time. In this case, just try another pile. Sometimes you may not find a pile that speaks to you, and this means there may not be a message for you in that reading at that moment. Let's discuss a bit about how to get the best out of this reading. If you wish to go in depth with this topic, then you will find in the description box an entire playlist with videos about this subject, like for example, how these readings work, what's the key to clarity, how to work with them and get all of the benefits, how to choose a pile, and others. Each reading has the potential to help you, but your action will also be needed. By integrating and clearly understanding the message, you will help yourself by making the information work for you in a beneficial way. A general reading, like the collective readings and the pick a card readings, will need a different type of attention from you than a personal reading, since not all information will be for you. During the reading, my voice and my state may change often and represent the energy being exposed through the reading and not necessarily my own natural state. Sometimes my voice will express many vibrations all at once, and this may prove to be uncomfortable. Some readings may get you confused because of the liminal space I'm working from, the energy explored, and because many times the information may not be offered in a linear way. Confusion precedes clarity and also deep insight. So if you work with the reading to get to the surface of your consciousness, the clarity and a deep insight, you will benefit from them. Some readings may trigger you or activate uncomfortable feelings and judgments. This is a general reading, so I invite you to focus only on what resonates and let everything else go. If you find that you cannot do this and the feelings are intense, then remember that this is a great opportunity for you to notice these triggers, these feelings and judgments, and work with them to understand their message. I have my own language, so even if for me the message may be clear, for you it might not be, or it may take some time. By working with the reading, you will arrange it and order it so you may clearly understand it. Clarity comes with proper integration and time. You can do this by taking notes, making a summary, taking your time and contemplating on the visions and questions, using the exercises if there are any mentioned. Re-listening will always help you better integrate the information. When you re-listen, you will understand new things, new details, and new perspectives. Sometimes re-listening is strange. It is like you've never listened before, although you did. This happens to me too, and most of the times is very exciting. These are some ideas to get you started, but you may receive more according to what you need, so take your time with it. The clearer it is, the more useful it will be. And clarity comes with order and integration. Now let's choose your pile. In this introduction, I'm going to make a quick meditation so you get into a state of relaxation and mental silence. First, take a few normal breaths, come back to yourself and center. To ease the state, I'm going to quickly guide you. Relax and get comfortable. Feel your body and notice the tensions. Let go of the tensions slowly and become soft. Clear your mind and your emotional field. Ground and stabilize your field. Strengthen your auric protection and safety. Strengthen and stabilize. Strengthen and stabilize. Strengthen and stabilize. Feel safe within your field. Imagine a sphere of light, any color you desire, around your body and feel safe within. If you cannot imagine, it's okay. Just feel the contours and the energy of your body and feel connected and safe within. Let's take a few deep breaths together. 1. 2. 3. 'Now open yourself to receive the reading in a way that is useful for you. Ask that you get clarity and that you hear what is meant for you. Now that we are ready, let's choose your pile. So for pile 1, we have this carnelian crystal. For pile 2, we have this light green jade. For pile 3, we have this amethyst. For pile 4, this apatite crystal. After you have seen up close all of the piles, let yourself be called towards the one or the ones you find most attractive. Go with your feeling and your intuition. You might want to look and choose by seeing the stones and also the cards, or you might just want to close your eyes and feel. You can use this exercise to hone your intuition. You may be attracted to one pile or more. You may be attracted to none. Please take into account that you may not find the right pile for you from the first time. In this case, just try again. Choose another pile. Sometimes you may find that none of the piles have messages that speak to you, and that is okay. In this case, there may not be a message for you in this reading at this time. Now take your time and choose your pile. Hi Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. You have chosen this carnelian. So with this reading, we will explore and see what kind of fear is ready to be released. Now, this can be a process for you. You are now acknowledging the fear, and the time for it to be released depends on you, on your inner and outer processes, and it may take less for some of you and more for the other part of you, so that we will not take a look into, because timing is really personal and I do not want to lead you astray with giving you something that will most likely be different for each one of you. So we will go and see the fear with these two cards, and then how to heal it, or just a little bit of tips on how to deal with it and how to open up to its release. But first we will take a look and see if we have visions for this pile. And what I see here is a person trying to do something. They are carrying a box. The box is an empty box made of cardboard. It's really light, there's nothing in it. So they are carrying it just a little bit further. But they feel like this box is really heavy, even though it is not. And they are carrying it just a little bit further, and they are in an office. So around them I see a lot of desks with people working, many people just going by this person, not giving this person any attention whatsoever. It's like they don't see him or what he's doing, or they don't see the burden and the difficulty. None try to help him or offer help of any kind. They just let him do whatever he wants. And this person starts to run into obstacles, because the people in that office start to put around him certain objects. For example, a desk appears in front of this person, then some kind of a separation wall, those kinds of glass separations that we have in offices, then a chair, then something else, until this person becomes completely stopped. They cannot move anymore because they are stopped in all directions by things put there by other people, and they don't know what to do. The other people don't seem to be bothered by the fact that this person is trapped there. And this person feels in a conundrum. They are still looking for a solution to carry that weight further and out of that trap, out of that closed space. But what is interesting is that I do not feel anger from them. I do not feel them to be upset. They are just trying to find a solution to do what is best to do their job, because this is about their job in this vision. And they don't seem to understand that they are being impeded by all of the things, because the people are trying to stop him or her to go further, because they are becoming some kind of strange occurrence in the office. They don't see why they should say something. They do not want to cause a conflict, but they are impeding this person to go any further, or they are impeding this person to carry that weight, to do that strange thing in their office. And some of them are actually mocking this person, they don't understand what they're doing, and they are mocking them. Why are they sitting there fixed in that small space? Why aren't they just coming out of the space and just leaving whatever weight they were carrying there? It's something strange for them to see, and they really don't understand it. Okay, so what I understand from this is that the fear here is related to being inadequate, to not finding your own place in the world, to always striving to do better, to fix things, to try to do your best even in the worst circumstances, even to carry some other people's weights, because the box was empty. So those things were something psychologically taken from someone else, those weights in the box. And this person tries to find a way out, but doesn't actually understand its environment. And the people around this person don't understand this person either. So again, the fear here is to be inadequate, is to always strive to find the best way to do things so they can prove themselves, so you can prove yourself in the face of others that you're worthy. And also the fear is of rejection. So fear is not a simple thing. We have what I call clusters of fear. Fears that are connected, and they form like an intricate type of system. And when one is activated, all of the others become also activated. So when I am speaking here about all of those fears, they are somehow connected in each of you, but in a different way. So they may get activated in different ways. So the system of fear is about being rejected, is about being found out to be unworthy of attention, unworthy of help, because somehow you feel mistaken inside, and also the mistaken place syndrome, when we feel like we're not in the right place, or we're not in the right job, or we're not in the right position to help ourselves, or to be helped, to release something, to release the burdens and to be helped. So we do things for other people to get the permission to be helped, or to get the permission to be accepted in the community. In this case, in the vision, I saw a community in a workplace. So this person was doing all sorts of things to be accepted in this community, but they were being restricted, and they were not even realizing they were restricted. This is how deep the fear was, because if they saw they were restricted, then they would do something about it. Then they would realize that the other people don't even think about the things they feel or they think. They completely think about something else. And the fact that this person doesn't receive help or ask for help, or I feel also that they are unseen. So they do things to become seen and accepted, because they are afraid to be rejected, and they are afraid to hurt the other people, or to anger the other people, or to become a burden to the other people around them. So they do all sorts of things to counteract this type of fear. Okay, now that we know this, let's just see the cards. And I guess I will just unveil all of them. And we have disruption and le monde, or the world. So we see here immediately in these two that the fear is about disrupting the process of life of other people with your pain, with your inadequacy, with your desire, with your need, with your own needs of help and acceptance and love. So this fear also disrupts your systems inside and makes you feel less than, makes you feel unloved, or that you do not deserve love or affection or attention unless you carry some burdens or unless you do some tasks for other people, unless you find yourself useful. Another fear tangled here is about uselessness. So the fear of being useless goes again towards the fear of being rejected by a community. And to disrupt that community means also rejection. To disrupt the people and what they are doing means also this type of survival rejection, because if you're not accepted in that community, we have this connection with the fact that we may be exiled, or we may not have access to resources. So this is deeply in our collective subconscious, but for you it's not actually that deep. I do not feel it that deep, because part of it is not about this collective subconscious thing. It's mostly about how your life has been and what the community has asked from you, and all of the restrictions it has imposed upon you, because the community somehow also disrupted the connection inside yourself between your mind, your body, your soul and spirit. And this disruption is also, it's like an inner fear. We do not actually desire to see this disruption somehow, because if we see it, if we see that separation and that conflict inside of us, we may realize the factors that have contributed to this. And if the factors are in our community, in our world and its constrictions and rules, what do we do? Because we think that we need to accept the disruption so we can be safe into that community, into that group. So there is a conundrum here inside of you that seems like a cycle, you know. You wish to be accepted and received in the community, so you do a lot of things to earn that. Of course, we need to contribute, but you try to contribute and serve in a way in which it becomes harmful to yourself, because of the fear of being inadequate, of being found out to be a fraud, or of being found out to be useless, or of being found out to not be the right person in that community, of not doing enough, of not being useful enough and worthy enough, and all of those things. And so this fear system that I have been describing is also disrupting the connection between your aspects, the body, the soul, the mind, the spirit. And this is also causing disruption inside of you in a different way. So when you try to deal with this fear, you need to see the inner disruption. And that is difficult, because then you ask yourself, well, yes, I have this inner disruption, but if I fix this, I may not be able to stay in this community, or in this workplace, or in this group of friends. So what am I to do? Should I accept the disruption that this is causing inside of me? Should I accept that I'm inadequate, that I am useless without this group? Or should I just accept that I need healing and that I need to let go of the burdens and move away from this group? And maybe there's a group out there that's better for me. There's a group out there that can satisfy my needs and which can really be my family, my extended family, in which I can feel welcomed and loved. Okay, let's see the other cards. And this is also a disruption in the way you love yourself and the way you feel that you deserve love. Okay, yeah, I feel disrupted. I feel the need to arrange this over and over again. Okay, let's see, we have burden. We have burden with the ant here. Movement into balance. I'm going to arrange all of them here. And then we have the earth and validation. Yeah, the earth and validation. So I see again this with validation and burden, that you are taking on the burdens of others to welcome in validation in the world or in your community. And there is this fear of not being enough, of being inadequate, and of not being useful enough, not doing enough. Not doing enough for you to receive the necessary validation and recognition in your community. And how to release this, how to help the release. We see here movement into balance and earth. First of all, you will need to remember that you cannot carry the burdens of all of the other people. That our burdens also help us learn and understand who we are, and also help us advance and evolve, progress in the world. They help us mature. So when we take the burdens away from other people, we may not facilitate their chance to evolve. Sometimes, of course, if they need help, we can provide help. But the help doesn't mean that we should just take on all of the burden ourselves and carry it ourselves, because this will put so much stress on our whole being. This will also add so many things to solve, and we do not have all of those resources. We cannot actually do everything. We have the potential to do anything that is valid or relevant for us. But we do not have to do everything for everyone. And also, we really don't have the resources, the knowledge, the maturity, and to do some things in our lives. And this is not shameful. This is not something to say that you do not have power or that you are worthless, because you may feel this way. If you hear my words, you may feel this way, some of you at least. But this doesn't mean that you are a selfish person. This doesn't mean that you don't have power. But our power has limits, so we can be healthy. This is why we have healthy limits and boundaries, so we can have a healthy and balanced system. Because if we strain ourselves too much, if we put too many burdens on our back, physically, we will not be able to carry them. Our physical body has limits. And this is how we are constructed. So we know our limits and we protect ourselves. And this is nothing to be shameful about. This, when we recognize our limits, we start to become healthier and healthier, because we stop putting so many burdens on our backs. And if you think this in a physical way, then you realize that immediately when you stop doing this, your body starts to regenerate. Your body starts to become healthier. And this is the same with psychological burdens, or psychosocial burdens, or obligations in our society, and all other things that you can take and carry. You can also take responsibilities from other people, and all sorts of things. And this can also take energy, time, and you will get to a point where you can be really exhausted and tired with everything. So to start healing this, you will need to acknowledge the burdens that you're carrying for other people, and not necessarily, this cannot necessarily be conscious for you. You can just get into a routine where you practically absorb things from other people, just so you can feel validated in a communion or in a community, in a group. So if you just take a look at yourself, tell yourself that it's okay not to take everything on, and that it's okay to take care of yourself and to unburden yourself. You cannot make everyone happy. We just don't have that ability, because everyone's happiness is their responsibility and is also their choice. Our idea about happiness can be really different from theirs. So this is why, in the first place, we cannot make everything or everyone happy. And if we try to do this, this is an impossible task, an impossible burden that will disrupt our whole life. Okay, so this is the first step, to recognize the burdens and your desire for validation, and to start loving yourself, validating yourself more, because the power that you have is enough. You don't have to be more powerful unless you grow up on your own terms and you accumulate that strength and power in your own way. You do not have to demonstrate so much power so other people can welcome you. Your power is enough, and your burdens, your own, are enough for you. And it is okay to acknowledge that. It is not shameful, and it is not you being selfish. Okay, now after this, we will go to movement into balance and earth. Because firstly, you will need to make your body realize that you're taking care of it, to make your body realize that you're there for its health, that you see what's happening, that you understand your own needs, the needs of your body to be touched, to be loved, to have tenderness, to go out into nature. We have the earth here. To go out into nature and to calibrate, to balance by connecting with nature and the earth, and by feeling safe in your own body, and by feeling safe and secure that what you're doing is enough, that you are enough, that you are okay with yourself, and to let go a bit more of needing validation and of caring so much about others' opinions. And the movement into balance here for you is the balance of energies, of receiving and giving. If we give too much, then we will be in lack. We will get to be in a moment where we do not have what to give, where we are in lack. In that moment, we cannot give anymore. Whatever we try, we will actually make a debt to ourselves, because we will take energy from places we do not have. So we will make like a loan in the future from our future self to give us energy to use now. And when we do that in the future, we will start to feel exhausted and tired, because our energy has been drained by our need to do so many things in the past. So moving into balance means to withdraw a little bit from how you give to people and to life, to your workplace, in general, to things, how you give attention, validation, how you give love, how you give work and energy, and to come back to yourself a little bit more and do things that make you feel okay with yourself and secure in the world and connected with reality, with what is actually happening with your life and in your body. What is actually happening in your body? It might be really different than what you actually think. Your body may be suffering even more than you think by all of this, by the disruption and by the burdens. And here, you getting into balance is also getting to know yourself more, like the nature of how you are when you are safe, when you feel safe, when you feel that you're connected with the earth and the other aspects of you. And you can do this by actually using nature to go to a tree, for example, and ask to balance your energies and ask to connect with the cycles of your body, for you to become more aware of the cycles of your body and how you give and how you receive. You may also have an issue with receiving, because you may feel shame and guilt when you receive something, if someone else doesn't have it, or if you don't give it to someone else, or you may feel ashamed or burdened to actually receive. But if we do not receive from the universe, if we do not receive from our soul, from our spirit, then we cannot be nourished and we cannot be in balance. So you are called here to become in balance with yourself, and by releasing this fear, which is ready to be released, but the process will take as long as it will take. You are called to see this and to prepare and to make these changes for these fears to be released, so you can actually better nourish yourself and return to a state of balance instead of disruption. So this has been the reading for you, my dear Spiral One. May you receive it with an open heart and an open mind, and may you find a way to make it useful for you and to apply it in your lives. The best way to support my channel right now is to like the video, to share the video to social media or friends, to comment and let me know about your experience, and also to subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the notification bell so you get notified as soon as I post something new. In the description box, you will find more information about myself and my work, especially on my website and other channels to connect with me and other ways to support my channel. Until next time, where I hope I will see you again, all of my best to you. May you find a way to apply the wisdom of your soul and spirit into your lives. Hi, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen this light green jade. With this reading, I'm going to explore a fear that needs to be released. We will not look into the timing, because for each of you the timing will be different. You will have your own process, and you will take as much time as you need to process this. Right now this fear comes for you to acknowledge it, to see it, to realize that it is ready to be released, and that the process is actually in progress, ongoing for you. Okay, so first I'm going to see if there are any visions for this pile. Then with these 2 cards I'm going to look and see the fear, and then some tips on how to heal this fear. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the vision. And what I see here is a naked person with their hands tied at their back, sitting, well, yeah, not really sitting on their knees in a carriage. This is a wooden old carriage which should be driven by some horses or something, but I don't see horses, I don't see anything actually dragging this carriage, but it works. It works like by magic. So I see this person being in this carriage alone, naked, going on this road, and they are blindfolded as well. They are blindfolded, and this carriage is taking them, I don't know where. I can feel that they are afraid, that they don't know what to do and what is happening, and they don't even realize where they are. They are disoriented, they are afraid, but they are lucid. They are lucid, trying to perceive their environment and what is happening with this carriage. They are also thinking a lot on how to escape, what to do, what's around them, what are their chances, all sorts of thinking. And this carriage goes away pretty fast. It goes on this path, and I don't actually see a town or just ruins. Yep, ruins. Left and right of the road, I can see ruins right now. And they are passing through them, going further and further into what I see like a sunset. And I cannot see other buildings, new ones, nothing, only ruins. So what I understand from this is the fear is about letting go of control, also about trusting themselves and what they perceive to be true in the moment, also about figuring out their path, like fear of not knowing the outcome, where exactly they would end up, the result they are going towards, not knowing what's happening with them or what will happen in the future, not knowing who is driving them, like who is the driver of the carriage, fear of actually being controlled by faith or by someone else, or by society, or by a group. But the fear is having to do with control as well. So as you can see, there are many fears, but they are all connected into a kind of system. And when one is activated, most usually all of the others will also be activated in this system. And they are also naked. So they are also afraid of not having the tools, the resources to help themselves on this path. And they are also afraid to trust themselves and their inner resources, and also their mind and their perception. And they are also blind, so they are afraid to see where they are going on this path. And they feel driven, like someone else, a higher force, is controlling their path or is driving them in this state, trapped, because their hands are tied up. So they feel also helpless. But helplessness is not as activated here, not as the other ones. Yes, they feel like encumbered. They know they will just get out of the ties, so those are not such a burden or such a problem for them. But they maintain the ties because they don't actually know if they are with someone there. If they do a wrong move, maybe they will get killed, or maybe something bad will happen to them, since they are also blindfolded and they cannot understand what's happening. So they are keeping the ties on because they don't have a grip on their reality and what's happening, and they feel lost on their path. And there is a fear of seeing their own path, and also of accepting the letting go of control, or the lack of control, and the lack of knowledge, and the lack of insight they have, and the lack of power they feel as well to do something for them. And this sentiment of being lost and taken, robbed, and without anything, and the lack of trust, fear of trusting oneself, because something bad might just happen if you do that. Fear of your own perceptions, because you might not see everything, or you might not see relevant things in your life. Fear of being driven onto the wrong path or in the wrong direction. And also fear of the future, or what's happening there, and not having a grip on the future, or some kind of control over something in your life. Okay, now that we know more about the fear, let's go ahead and see the cards. And we have balance and Le Chariot, which is, oh, the light went out, the candle, the Chariot. So we have the Chariot and balance. Oh, and we can see the carriage here. It's not the same, of course, but it has to do with it. And balance. This is heavy because I feel a heaviness here. It's like, oh, but it's such a hard thing to be in balance. I'm not gonna be in balance, never. It's just impossible. How you can just sit on an edge all day without balancing left and right? I cannot understand that. It's just so difficult to be in balance. So why should I even try? What and how? There's a misunderstanding here about balance. Balance is not about sitting in one rigid place like an acrobat on a string, just keeping the balance on a string, trying not to fall. Balance is an inner harmony. And balance is achieved when all of the aspects go on the same path, have the same direction. And I'm referring to the aspects of self, which is the body, the mind, the spirit, and the soul. If they all go in the same direction and have the same goals, then everything is in balance and harmony. Well, at least in the beginning, of course, because you might just bump into all sorts of obstacles and challenges. But if you have all of the aspects pointing in the same direction, you will not have conflict on the path. You will have help and understanding and support and knowledge and balance and harmony in yourself, not necessarily outside of you, not necessarily on the path, not necessarily in the world, but you will have balance inside. So the fear has also to do with the difficulty of balance, because there is a fear of going in the wrong direction, but also like making the wrong step. If you just make the wrong step, just now I see the acrobat again on the string, because if the acrobat makes the wrong step, they will fall. And I feel this fear also here for you. When you make the wrong step, you may just fall off the wagon, off the path, of your own direction. And this is such a fear of control, and also loss of control, and also fear of letting go, because the acrobat needs a lot of control, but at the same time it needs to let go and feel okay of being in that type of situation, and not feel urged to do that, or obligated, or imposed upon, or tensioned. It needs to let go of feeling in control while letting the body be in total control on the string. So this is a kind of balance of control, of inner control and outer control. Because if we are gripping too hard to have inner control or outer control, then we go out of balance in how we use our energies and in how we feel on our path. Because fear of letting go and embracing the path, the destiny, where it leads, is also related with this desire to control everything. And there is a moment, a point of balance. And that point of balance creates havoc inside of you. It's like, I can never reach that. How can I do that? It's impossible. I need to have so much control to do that. Yes, you need to have some kind of control, but not in the way that you think. We may think sometimes that destiny, our path, our soul and spirit are controlling us, because they make us go into some kind of a path that we don't know, or we may not accept going. We may not want to go through there, but they are carrying us anyway. So our personality may feel controlled by destiny itself, while it is not actually. Because if the personality would agree to go with the spirit and soul, then they would not feel controlled in that respect, in that manner. And we can also project this control on people, on other things in our life. This doesn't mean that controlling people do not exist, or rules that crush our spirit do not exist, but that we may project a lot of attention because we have inner beliefs that sustain this idea of us being well, crushed by control of a higher force that is imposing upon us all sorts of things, and that we have no power. We actually have power if we are in balance with the divine. If our personality gets in balance with the divine, then we get that power. We get that inner balance, that yin and yang, that release of control while maintaining a really high control on what we are doing, by choosing the right things for us, by directing on towards the directions that we really desire to achieve, by taking responsibility for our choices, by making conscious choices, by trusting ourselves on this path, by doing whatever it takes to walk this path with respect to our own power and abilities. And this comes with inner balance. And this is really interesting because I've never seen this before, to have fear of balance. Because there is this type of fear of sitting in balance, of believing that you can never understand that, or you can never do that, that it's impossible, and why bother? So let's go ahead and be in whatever imbalance and do our best. But the thing is, when you get into balance, you need to let go of some things. And you will need to accept that you don't have control over some things in your life. But your spirit and your soul can have, if they wish to, of course. But remember that your soul and your spirit also would like to experience spontaneously whatever comes. So they enjoy experience. So they cannot actually control everything, because otherwise, why bother having the experience if you cannot be surprised, you know? So here, when you have this fear of the point of balance, you have this fear because you cannot let go of some control that is not useful for you, and accept a type of control that is actually useful for you. You know, because what I feel here is that you are also trying to grab control of some things that you cannot control. And because you're doing this, you're wasting your energy and your time, while you could actually do other things instead. You could actually exert and learn how to have responsibility and control over the things that you can. And this will give you a lot more balance in your life. Let's see also the other cards. Okay. And we have chaos. Yeah. Because this situation creates a lot of chaos. It makes your path be chaotic. And now I remember the vision, because the person in the vision was going through ruins, was passing through on their way through ruins. And there was actually nobody there to be afraid of. There was nobody there was nobody conducting the carriage. There was nobody keeping this person there in that position, only their fears. Their fears of accepting that path, of accepting the path that you are actually going onto, your actual destiny, because destiny is your destination, and your destination is not only something that is forced upon you. You contribute to that. You have a say in it. You don't have to just feel driven like that. That person in the vision could just take away their binds, take away the blindfold, and conduct the carriage. Now I'm realizing that, you know, you could just do that. but instead the fears keep you in that position of not taking the reins, of not actually contributing to the path, to the destination, to the direction, but letting yourself be abducted by those fears and controlled by them, by the fears themselves. And this is the chaos, the illusions that keep you there. So we have chaos, then we have fire, stripping illusions, and it's all good. Now this "it's all good" tells me about this idea that there's something good in all of the experiences of life. And if we have the eyes to look for that, we can always find that part that is the good in any situation. We can concentrate only on the bad, but we can also concentrate on the good. This doesn't mean to always concentrate on the good, because this will create a state of imbalance and also of ignorance of what's not working. So again, balance is needed here in your approach. And stripping the illusions of chaos, because that person in the carriage, for them, the road, the path was chaos, because they couldn't see anything and they were so afraid about what is happening to them. They felt controlled and driven by something greater, by a force that was really controlling their path. But when you strip away that illusion, then you realize, wait, I can actually go ahead and conduct the carriage. I can say something about my path. I can work with the universe and my soul and spirit to go in the same direction. I can accept challenge on the direction, because the fear is also about accepting challenges, obstacles, and also fear of going through difficult things and moments and progressing, growing up. That has to do with your fear and with the illusions. But to start healing this, you need this "it's all good" idea, to remember that there are beneficial things in every kind of situation. And this is the moment for you to look for them, to see them. Yes, you can and you need to also see the difficult things, the obstacles, the negatives, but balance them out with the positives and the beneficial things. And things will not look as bad or feel as chaotic. This balance in your perspective and also the stripping of the illusion of control will help you actually bring and ignite more power, more self-power, and more control in your life on the things and the situations and the aspect that you can apply control into. So actually, you seeing what's happening with yourself, you making this change and accepting the path, accepting the challenges, the obstacles, and everything that comes with it, knowing that you can have a contribution, that you can have a say in all of this. But sometimes remember that we do not see everything, and our soul and spirit may see and know a lot more than us. And they may see that after the obstacles, it comes a period in which we feel so complete and maybe happier than before, and that we need that period to learn something that's really valuable in our lives. If it were up to our personality, the personality would say no to the pain, would say no to the experience, and say no to the learning, and also to the results and the rewards. This is why accepting your path will help you let go of a lot of fears, of all of this system of fears. It will not be so important for you. The system of fears that I've described will no longer trap you and control you and make you sit there naked and alone while there's just nobody around you and nothing to fear. And the ruins that you're going through, they are the past. So you are in this process of going through some things from the past, reviving them and healing them, understanding things from them. And you might feel, well, a bit controlled to do that. Like you also may feel punished sometimes. Why do I need to go through this again? Well, because there's still something there to be gained. This is why this card appeared here. There's still something there to be gained for your progress in life and evolution, and for you to become in balance and recuperate some of your inner power, and also the ability to decide, the ability to direct your life, the ability to be conscious about your path and really stop having fear of seeing where you're going or what's going on your path. And this chaos will just start to make sense for you. Will just start to have some order, because you will be also allowed. This is the word I am actually using now, because a part of you feels that you're not allowed to say something about your path, or to make some order, or to make some kind of organization and decide some things. But after you let go of the illusions, the blindfold, sitting there on your knees naked, and you realize that there must be a benefit there, lift yourself up and start taking the reins and conducting your life. You will see that a surge of power and energy will come back to you, and you will start to feel connected and in balance again. And the chaos, you will start to order it, you, by deciding how to utilize what and where, because the chaos is also an energy that can be like a fuel for you. You can create out of chaos something new, because order is part of creation. And when we order something in a certain way, then we create something new out of something that was chaotic and in disorder. And we apply our power to create our inner fire. We stoke our inner fire, and we increase our determination, our power, our discipline, and our commitment to our path. So this has been the reading for you, pile 2. May you receive it with an open mind and an open heart, and may you find the way to apply it to your life, so you get all of the benefits from it. The best way to support my channel right now is to like the video, to share the video to social media or friends, to comment and let me know about your experience, to subscribe, and if you subscribed, don't forget to tick the notification bell so you get notified as soon as I post something new. In the description box, you will also find more information about myself, and my website and my work, and also new ways to connect with me, other channels, and other ways to support this channel. Until next time, where I hope I will see you again, may you find a way to connect and balance the energies inside you with love and wisdom. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You've chosen this amethyst. With this reading, we are going to explore and see a fear that is ready to be released. Now, this fear will be released in your own time, in your own process. I am not going to look in how much time this is going to happen, because for each of you, time is personal and it's something that has to do with your intimate processes. So I am not going to go there. But we will see this fear that is ready to be acknowledged for you, is ready to be seen, recognized, so you know that you are in the process of releasing this. Okay, so let's go ahead, but first we are going to see the visions for this pile, and then these two cards are going to tell me about your fear, and then these cards here will give us some tips about how to heal and how to release this fear. So let's go ahead and see the vision, and what I see here is a person. They are out in some kind of a forest. I can see trees and grass all around them, and there is this big rock, and they are on a hill because I can see in the distance a town that is downhill. So this rock is really big. You can sit on it, you can make a meal on it. It's really big. This person cannot move it by itself, but they are trying to hit it with something. They are hitting this rock with other rocks, with sticks, with whatever they can find there to, I'm not sure what they want to do. Let's look some more. Okay, so they are also using some substances. They are using fire. They are trying their best to do whatever it takes to destroy this. I see them using a metal bar to hit it. They are hitting it with this metal bar, trying to divide it into more pieces. No luck there too. No luck. They are very enthusiastic, and a lot of effort is put into this. They are hitting this rock with everything that they've got, with all of their energy. But what I feel is disappointed. Disappointed, although very enthusiastic, to try and try and try again, to try again. And I feel disappointed if this process would stop. Yes. So if I actually got my way here, I would be disappointed, because this process in which I am showing my power, showing my might, making all sorts of displays, making myself known for someone who tries to do an impossible feat, making myself maybe go viral because I'm trying to do all of these things to destroy this rock in this manner with my own force. Well, yes, with some aid, but not much aid, mostly my own power and physical force. And if this process would stop, well, then the attention would stop after a while, right? If I actually succeed, I am in fear that people will just mind their own business and find another one who does something else, or find something else to give their attention to, and I will be lost here and alone. So I'm just making a best show here. I'm trying to do my best to make a good show, so people will start watching and never stop, and they will keep watching me whatever I do here, whatever inventive things I might use. And I try to be funny as well, and also really happy, enthusiastic, and show all of my good traits and really make a good show. So what I see here is a fear to end. So a fear to go and reap the results of something. A fear to get to the rewards of my work. A fear of achievement. A fear of actually doing something really good, or actually achieving something impossible for other people, of developing skills, of developing into someone known for their skills and mastery, into actually someone who is seen and taken as, well, they know how to do that. I've seen them. Someone who can be a reference for other people and can inspire other people, and mostly someone who is really seen and acknowledged for their value. I am afraid of all of that, and also afraid of going forward and becoming visible in front of people as myself, as my real self. So I take on these impossible feats so I can fail, but I make the best of my failures so people get entertained, right? So I still get to be seen, I still get to be acknowledged and maybe get attention, but not for what I truly love to do, not for my real self. I do not have that courage to show who I am and actually become someone who is successful and seen and acknowledged in some field. This is also fear of responsibility, a fear of becoming what I actually truly desire, a fear of showing others who I am, because I might just not interest them as much anymore. And this is not like they will reject me. No, they will ignore me. This is another deep fear here. Fear of being ignored, of being just someone else, of being mundane, ordinary, of not being someone who has something to give, someone original, of just copying something and being like another expert out there, you know? And this is kind of like a justification not to follow your dreams and not to show your gifts, not to develop your gifts and your natural inclinations, not to go forward and accept rewards for your work and accept real material rewards like money, resources, access, and stuff. And you try to take on these impossible things to show your power and your might, but mostly your inventiveness, and mostly to draw attention towards you, but not to the real you, to some fake self who desires to be seen and accepted by others by pleasing them with some interesting things. And this fear is also about seeing your vulnerabilities in front of others, becoming real, becoming someone who has something to say, or who has responsibilities in front of other people, becoming more mature in this type of idea of being responsible to serve with your gifts, no matter what gifts you have, because of fear of being ordinary, of being ignored, of being just another expert out there. Okay, now that we know all of this, let's go ahead and see the cards And we have success, of course. And then this is the six of wands, the 6 of wands. Yes. So we have here this fear of success, fear of being seen as how you truly are, fear of winning, of being better than other people, of showing your real skills and being in competition with others, and also of finding the way to be original, of finding the way to put yourself into the spotlight, the real you. Fear of being seen as who you are, and you feel that who you are is not adequate, is not like is someone who is mundane, boring, and you fear that you are like that, that you are just another pawn or someone in the crowd, the same as all of the others, and you're afraid to be part of the crowd. You're afraid to be ordinary or like the others, similar in many ways, and you try to make yourself look different, but in the same way, this makes you feel separated and somehow strange to other people, uh, unrelatable. People cannot relate to you if you feel so separated from them because of this fear of being ordinary, of being just one more out of the in the group, of just being ignored. Because when you are feeling part of the group, you feel ignored. You may not have the courage to speak out, to be and contribute as part of the group, to really show others who you are and show your skills and your desires and what you actually want to achieve, and fear of actually achieving something in a group, because then others will just give you more, will ask more, will put tension upon you, will put maybe obligation on you. You will not be so free. Yeah, this is also linked to the fear of being trapped in conditioning and in obligations and losing freedom, losing the freedom to do whatever, like that person was making a really good show with so many strange things. You will fear that when you get to show your real self and actually be someone in the group, then the other people will condition you to only be that, to only be what they desire to be. So you will lose something from who you are. You will lose your originality. So this is also about getting lost in the group, losing your originality, losing your individuality. A fear of success is actually linked to that. So interesting. As you can see, there's just not one fear. We have a system of fears, and when one is activated, the others also become activated. They are like clusters, energetical clusters, systems of fears that support each other and engage each other and nourish each other. And when you take out or when you release one of them, it doesn't mean that you will release all of them all at once, but they will start to diminish in strength because they will not have the same support anymore, since a part of the energy that was supporting them is now released. So try not to expect or be in fear that you need to release all of those things. You don't. Now you're acknowledging all of these systems here, connections between the fears. And the main fear here is the fear of achievement and success. And this one is ready to be worked upon and released. So you can really be a part of the group, but also be yourself, be an original, be okay with who you are as part of the group and also as yourself, and find ways to keep your individuality and to keep your gifts as unique and to make yourself into feeling okay with the gifts that you have, because you're trying to also look for gifts or things to make you something that you're not, because you think that your own gifts are not enough for you to be original. But let me say something to you right now. All of us, we have gifts. All of the gifts are important and have the same type of usefulness. Of course, we will feel different in society because of roles that we play. But even so, the uniqueness comes from the way in which you express more of you, from the way in which you feel authentic, and from the way you are truthful, authentic, and you find this unique way of expressing your gift. So you may have a similarity in gifts with other people, but you will find the way that is unique to you in your expression. So you do not have to feel like you need to find something unique as a gift in the basic ways of thinking of gifts. In their base, many people have the same like seed, but any seed is different as it grows. Any seed. If you take a look at plants, when you plant the same seeds, well, they're not the same seeds, right? There is a seed which is a bit bigger, one that's smaller, one that has a bump, one that has a different shape, and all sorts. They are similar but also different, and also when they grow, they look different and they have a different expression. So this fear keeps you from being your authentic self and also from enjoying the real results of using your gifts and also real recognition. Because right now, if you try to just be different without actually being authentically you in your difference, you're actually not accepting your difference. You think your difference is not enough, so you're looking for something extraordinary because your difference seems ordinary to you. But the thing is, your difference seems ordinary to you because you are the closest to it. It's part of you, it's common to you, it's simple to you, it's just there for you. But other people will not feel the same way. For other people, your ordinary difference will be extraordinary. So you don't have to think in this way, diminishing yourself and your uniqueness. Okay, let's go ahead and see how to open up to the release of this fear. Okay, and we have specialness. Special, feeling special. Then we have the open heart, truth or authenticity, and changes. So I see the need to open your heart to yourself, to love your own gifts, to love your own differences, your uniqueness, to discover that uniqueness by connecting deeply with who you are, with your soul and spirit, by opening your heart to everything that is there without judging yourself so much. And also by being truthful to yourself, by taking a look at yourself, but an integral look, a look from above, through which you see yourself completed, whole, and through which you see yourself worthy, through which you give yourself self-esteem, and you love what you bring to the world. You love how you are different. Then you will need to make some changes. But changes, you don't have to change really fast, immediately. You can make each step in your own rhythm. You don't have to feel that immediately you should be authentic and truthful. Just try every day to be a bit more truthful to yourself and open to what you need and open to your uniqueness. And stop trying to be special. Because when we try to be special, we try to be something far away, like a star. We separate ourselves in order to be special, and we forget about our need to connect, because from our need to connect comes recognition, comes attention, comes love from other people. And if other people cannot relate to who we are because we're so different and special, then we find ourselves alone and separate. And we find ourselves like the person in the vision trying to do impossible feats just to be special in the eyes of others, just to feel like a star in a temporary way before others see other stars, before the other people take their attention from you to other stars, and you are left again with no attention, and again your heart gets to be closed, and you think you're not enough again, and that you need to also do again something extraordinary to get their attention. And you enter into this type of vicious cycle, and this doesn't bring you success. This is just something that you do out of fear of success, of achieving, because that person in the vision, he was afraid to end, because when he would succeed, then the people would forget about them. They would find other things to do. So they would prolong the process, so they wouldn't get to the success, to the achievement, because that achievement really meant distress, disappointment, loss for them, and the need to be special again, and to find some other impossible feat to impress the other people, again to impress, to be recognized. And also this fear of taking part in the community because of responsibilities, or because you feel you will lose yourself and your individuality. This is not truthful. This is something that you see also because of fear, because you are afraid to just be yourself and accept your success when you are yourself and invest in your gifts and your own development. You're afraid of all of this. And if you go into a community, you might just have to do all of this. They will encourage you, or they will ask this of you. They will put pressure or tension, and you might just be too weak to keep up your own individuality and go on your own path with your own gifts, and instead just succumb to their tensions and their demands. And this comes also for the fear to uphold your own identity, to have confidence in yourself and who you are, and that you are valuable enough with your own differences, that you don't have to succumb to demands to please or to connect with others. So we see here this whole system of fears that close your heart and make you feel inauthentic with yourself and stuck and look for to be special or extraordinary. And this is a way to look away from yourself, to stop seeing who you are and accept yourself. So your first step here is to see the truth of who you are, that you have gifts and that you can express them in a unique way. But you need to learn how to deal in a community and how to express, so you keep your individuality. So you know how to put healthy boundaries and you protect yourself and your heart and your uniqueness. And also, the next step would be to accept changes, to accept that things will change in your life and that the achievements that you make, the success, will come and go. And you will need to accept and love yourself also in the moments in which you will not have success, because otherwise you will get addicted to do stuff only to get success, immediate rewards and recognition, so you can be satisfied with self. So changes are okay. They give you a kind of a pause, so you can remember yourself, what you're good at, your uniqueness, and so you can be truthful with yourself and realize what exactly I want to achieve, because maybe the direction in which you were going was no longer beneficial. So when you don't get success, it's not such a big deal. It's just you telling yourself that you need to change what you're doing or the way you are doing, or to change something so you can again enjoy success. And that is part of life, those changes. That is part of evolution, and it doesn't mean that you're going to fail, that you're going to be dreadful at it. Because this fear of success is also connected to the fear of failure, the fear of being a failure in the eyes of the others if you're yourself, if you're authentic, and the fear to deal with moments of failure and mistakes. We are human, we make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes turn out to be blessings, because they take us out of our routine and they make us find out and innovate and bring something new into our life and change in a beneficial way, so we can get again into the path of success. So this has been the reading for you, Pile 3. I hope you receive it with an open heart, being truthful to yourself and open to change and open to apply this in a way that most benefits you. The easiest way to support my channel right now is to like the video, to share the video in social media or to friends, to comment and let me know about your experience, to subscribe. If you subscribe, don't forget to click the notification bell so you can get notified as soon as I post something new. In the description box, you will also find more info about myself and my website as well, and my work, and also other channels to connect with me and other ways to support my channel. Until the next time, where I hope I will see you again, all of my best to you, wherever you are, night and day. May you find the openness to see your own beauty with love and wisdom. Hi Pile 4 and welcome to your reading. You have chosen this apatite crystal. So in this reading, we are going to explore what fear is ready to be released, and this means that you are already working to release this fear. It only needs your acknowledgement and of course the process through which you will actually release it. Now the timing for this, we will not look at the timing because timing is very intimate for each one of you. You will have different processes and it will take as long as it takes for each one of you. And by the way, we each may see time in different ways, and the end or the achievement of something may appear different for you than for me or other people. Okay, so first I'm going to look and see the visions for this pile. Then these two cards here are telling me about the fear, and these cards here will tell me about how to release or heal it. Let's go, let's start this. Okay, so the vision for this pile is as follows. What I see is a person near near a river. They are actually trying to change the course of the river so it flows in a different way with their own mind. So they are concentrating, contemplating on changing the course of the river in some way because they feel this is what they need to do in the moment. But as they do this, they go and walk along this path of the river, and a part of them, so not the whole of them, falls into the river and gets drowned and goes deep into the river and then resurfaces again and floats. They're not dead, this part of them, they're just overwhelmed by this river. They are taken away, driven by the course of the river. And they are still trying to change it. And they are putting all of their effort in doing this. But they feel so distraught. They feel like they're never going to do this. But they hope, they have a really strong hope that something will happen. Maybe the whole river will not change, but something will change, or something will become more knowledgeable or visible for them and guide them. They are also waiting for guidance on how to proceed in this type of situation, how to go forward, what to do, how to change this, how to do this, because it seems like they don't have the strength. This is what they feel, that they cannot change this, but they are doing their best and they are trying to contribute or make this better for them. They are trying to make this change better for them somehow. Okay, so what I understand from this is that this person is trying to change the course of something that has happened in the past. They are trying to change the consequences or change something so the actual experience is more comfortable for them. And they are trying to do this repair, by using their mind, by all sorts of methods to heal the past or change the future or adjust with the vibrations of the future they desire. But a part of them is already on that path, is already connected with that future that is happening, and they feel overwhelmed by what is happening there. This is also why they want to change. This is also why they are fighting against this this happening, whatever is happening there in their lives. They are trying to change the past and also the present and the future. They are trying to do something because they feel overwhelmed by the experience and also by the feelings, and they don't understand it. They are trying to find understanding and some kind of comfort in what is happening. And there is also fear of being in the river, of getting swept by it, of being overwhelmed. And the person in the river, I see now, they have their eyes closed. And also the other person, they are afraid of seeing what's happening to them. They are afraid of change, the change that has happened in the past. They want to change it because they are afraid of the consequences and of the challenges, the uncomfortability of the situation. And they are also trying to find relief in understanding the situation. But at the same time, they are afraid to see what's really happening there. They are afraid to open their eyes and actually accept the reality of this situation, of the fact that they are overwhelmed, of the fact that they cannot find a solution, of the fact that they cannot do anything. They're afraid that they will lose the control they have, the grip they have on the course of their life because of the consequences of something unexpected or something that has happened in the past. And this fear is really strong. It's just like a fear of being abandoned by life itself, a fear of seeing the truth of what is there in the situation because this might change something they do not want to change. Fear of change again comes up here. Fear of looking within, fear of being overwhelmed by the truth or by whatever they see there, and fear of actually accepting, fear of acceptance of what has happened because they keep trying to change the past or the consequences because they cannot accept the change. They cannot accept the actual happening of a reality, the reality they are into right now. And they fear the change, and they fear the reality and what has happened in the past. And the mistakes they did, or the fact that they got surprised by life or by the course of events. Yeah, by the course of events. And they also fear that it will get worse. I see this negativism here, this type of pessimistic outlook on life, fear of things getting worse and I must do something. They are also in fear of not doing something, of just sitting patiently or of accepting what has happened and trying to find wisdom in it or anything. They feel this compulsive urge to act and do something to change, because if they do this in this way, then the change will be under their control. The change will be more acceptable in this way if they do something. But the action doesn't do anything, as we see in the vision. The action actually impedes this person to see the truth of the situation and accept and actually go with the change, adapt, and find a way to act in a beneficial way for them and to understand the situation. Because this rejection of the situation impedes them to understand it. If they find and if they feel that this is wrong, that this may go even worse, that all of the worst things will happen in the future and they must really do something, then all of this system is just agitated around this fear of change and accepting whatever has happened in the past, and also accepting that they could do something here in the present if they would accept things as they are. So we see this about the fears here, and you can see that it's not just one fear. We have a system of fears, all correlated, connected together. And when one of them ignites, the whole system gets fueled and activated and starts appearing in your life and making you do things. So when we release a fear, we take away some of the potency of this system. The other ones may work, but they will not work in the same way. So releasing just one fear is really important. And let's see here about that fear. And we have reflection. And this is the 1, 2, 3, 4 of swords. So we have reflection and the 4 of swords. So the main fear, the core fear that is ready to be released here is about you being fearful to reflect upon yourself or upon the situation, because you are fearful of the truth that is there, or what might happen because you are actually reflecting or looking upon this. Because when we look at something, we start to have abilities to change or to adapt. But what you're afraid here is that you will reflect on this, you will take a look, and you will be helpless in doing anything. You will feel this immense helplessness of acting, and this is why you do not want to look, you do not want to take a look, you do not want to see, and also have a clear mind and a clear understanding on what's happening. Also, this is related to you blaming yourself about something, to you not accepting that you may make mistakes or that life may challenge you in many, many ways. And because you get challenged, you may just not know how to handle things. And that is okay. That situation is there for you to learn how to handle it by experiencing it. But if you try to change it, then we get into this rejection of reality, rejection to understand what actually that situation has for us to understand. And we get to fight with the course of life and the course of events. We start fighting because this is a simple reaction that we all do, so you're not alone in this. You're not special because you have this reaction. You're not just the only one who has this reaction of fighting with something that has happened in the past, that you may have contributed to or not. That doesn't actually matter here, but you fighting this change is because of this fear of reflection, and because you might just find out that you were to blame, or that you made a mistake, or that you were wrong, or that you were unworthy, or that you were somehow not powerful enough or up to the task, and you may need to punish yourself. So you also fear this idea that you will get punished if you've done something that you feel was wrong or a mistake. And by reflection, you will see all of that and you will expand your understanding. But you may also blame and punish yourself. And this is what you're running from. This is why you're fighting the change and the idea to adapt to what is there, to the reality. to accept what has happened is also coming from this deep fear that you might just be wrong or punished, that you may be receiving this immense burden that you will need to fix in the future, and that you will need to see and accept about yourself. Whew. Yeah. You know, many people do this, so you shouldn't feel ashamed about this. If you do this, you shouldn't feel like you're not worthy to be loved, that you're not worthy to live or to exist with this, or that this is helpless and that you're helpless and that you cannot do anything about it. You might just not have the ability to act upon the course of events in your life or the exterior, but you can work upon the reaction you have and how you feel in regards to what is happening. That you can change, and that is a big change. You might think that that's nothing. You might judge that, so what? So what if I change the way I see things or my reaction? Things in my life will not change. That's not actually true, because when we change the way we see things, something in the mechanism of fear changes, and we release a lot of energy, and we get back some power, and easy, step by step, we start recuperating power, autonomy, control, and we start to feel different in our lives, and also manifest something else. Because yes, you can change something in your environment, maybe not for the other people, but for yourself. You may just have that ability. For yourself, you may change a lot of things. So do not discount yourself and your power to change, because here this fear of change also denies your power to change, your power to adapt, and your power to change your experience of life and how you live and how you do things and all of that. Because of punishment, because of accepting all that is there, because when you look at yourself, you might find something wrong, and you might just find that you can do anything, that you're helpless. And that's just not something that is real. I feel to remind you that you can change the experience you're having, but not the experience of the world, not what's happening around you in the same respect, in the same amount or percent. But you can do something about your life, and you can be happy, even if a lot of others have another experience. And you don't have to be ashamed for that you desire something else, and that you may reach that ability to reach another timeline, another result in your life, that you may turn your life around. Okay, now let's see the cards here. And we have past, present, and future. And the water here. That's so nice. And we have some birds here with letting go. Yeah, letting go of the past, present, and future, accepting the course of events. And we have the authenticity card here, and adversity. Yes, because adversity has been happening in your life, and you're having trouble to be authentic with yourself, truthful with the situation and what you can do about it. And to be truthful to see yourself and not blame yourself, to let go of all of that judgment, all of those types of thinking that diminish your power and what you can do. So this fear of seeing yourself, of reflecting upon what has happened, keeps you from actually having power to act upon that situation and change your life. This is why here we have the card of authenticity, because you will need to get to be truthful to yourself and to what is happening, so you can be able to know your power and know how and what to change, instead of fighting the changes that are happening all around you. Just start by accepting them. But what I feel here is that accepting the changes feels like a failure, feels like well, I cannot do that because otherwise I've failed myself. I've done something wrong. I have done a mistake or something. I am mistaken and I don't know how to deal with this. But the reality is that adversity will be there, whatever you do. So you can go through adversity in a false, inauthentic way, fighting with it, fighting with the past, with the present, with the future, fighting with the course of events, struggling to control things, struggling to get a grip on the situation. You can do that. In each moment that you are able to do something, you can do that, You can always choose to do that. Now, what you are, invited is to do something else, to try something else, because you know how this works. You've been doing this for a while, and this hasn't brought you the results that you were envisioning, right? It keeps bringing you more tension, more desire to control, more desire to look away, to blind yourself. It's not helpful, and it doesn't fix anything in your life. So the adversity is always there and will be there, but how you deal with it can change. And by you being authentic, then means also that you get to have access to more of your abilities and your inner power to find a solution that you're actually okay with, to let go of the solutions that do not work and create from the present moment. Stay here and now in silence, reflect upon the situation, be authentic about it, which is be truthful about what is happening, see the adversity and the difficulties, the obstacles just as they are, because we cannot actually take action upon something and do something that is beneficial for us if we do not really see what that obstacle is about. So first, you will need to see it, to be truthful and see the adversity, see the change in your environment, see all that has happened, reflect upon it, take the wisdom from it, be accustomed with it, so you will know how to act and how to take beneficial, conscious action, so you can find a new path for you. So you don't have to change and fight with this path. You will find your path through it. You don't have to fight the whole current. You will find your path through it. You don't have to lose yourself in the current, because you just don't have to. You don't have to be swept away by it. If you are authentic and you just look at the obstacle just as it is, you will see that you will start finding new information. You will start to gather more data, more insight into the matter. You will start to have flashes of inspiration. You will start to bring more order in your mind, in your environment, and you will bring towards you this amazing capacity to solve. But your problems will not be the same as the problems you see now, because your problems will change as well as you become more authentic with yourself and you are empowered to see what is there as adversity, as an obstacle. And you can look in all of the timeline, like in the past, in the present, in the future, to see what has happened, how is this affecting you right now, what consequences are you seeing in the future. And this is gathering data. This is reflecting on the situation. This is you being able to let go of the fears that you are somehow wrong, that you will be punished, that you will find yourself helpless without the power to act, and opening up to truthfully seeing the situation and letting go of all of the suppositions, the projections that you can make upon the situation, the illusions, the compulsive optimism or the compulsive negativism, pessimism, yep, all of that you can let go of. And then the truth, the actual reality will resurface. And it will not be as bad as you think or as good as you would like to be, but you will feel more grounded by doing this. And whatever obstacle is there in your face right now, it will not be as impossible or daunting for you. It will no longer be as helpless, because you will have more information and understanding on your situation, enough to change your reaction and change how you deal with this situation, so it is or it becomes in part beneficial for you. So this has been the reading for you, pile 4. May you receive it with an open heart, with an open mind, and in silence, so everything gets to be revealed to you, and the means to utilize this reading will come to you by contemplating and having this clear mind. Because your fear is also about being clear upon things, because clarity, you may be afraid that it may bring some things that are not comfortable for you to see, or that are bad, wrong, evil, or some other type of attribute there. Okay. So if you would like to support my channel, the easiest way is to like, to share the videos to your friends or on social media, to comment and let me know about your experience, and to subscribe. If you subscribe, then don't forget to click on the notification bell so you get notified as soon as I post something new. And in the description box, you can also find more information about myself, about my work, my website with all of the things that you will find there. You can also find other channels to connect with me and other ways to support this channel. Until next time, where I hope I will see you again, all of my best to you. May you find the way to be kind and loving to yourself. May you find the way to be compassionate to what you see inside of yourself and accept yourself just as you are, with love and wisdom.